Hey everyone, it's Suey. Tomorrow is the big day when I get to reveal at book club all the winners of what everybody's been voting for from our big long list. Fun thing is, as I've known for the past few days what the winners will be, and I've made a couple of executive decisions also on what will be on our final lineup. But I thought it would be fun to do a video where I show you what was on our list. A couple weeks ago I did a video showing the process of how we figure out this list, and I kind of had a little bit of a teaser on there about what was on this list, but we didn't stop and talk about it very much. So I thought I would do that today and then give you, the viewers of this channel, a heads up on what will make it to our book club lineup. So I thought I would just do a screen record here and show you, this is the poll that I gave everybody in the book club, and I divided up into several categories. Not that they had to vote from something from each category, but just so that it could be a little bit more organized. And then everybody was supposed to vote for 12 books, although it should have actually been 11 because we are doing Memoir Month in July again, which means we won't use a book from our list for that month. Everybody just gets to read their own choice of a memoir, and then we'll come to book club and talk about what we learned. We actually have 11 books that we need to put on our schedule. So I should have had everybody just do 11, but anyway, they did 12. And our first section here is classics, because we've realized that we haven't really been reading many classics for book club, and we at least like to get one in for the year. Sometimes when we have a classic on the list, people struggle. So often they don't get voted in lately, but we decided to try again for this year. And these are the classics, or what we deemed as classics. Some of these might not officially be classics, but Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne, The Grand Sophie by Georgette Heyer. Everybody just thought it would be fun to do a Georgette Heyer, and so I chose that one because it's one of our most popular ones, I think. The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. This is a book that's been on our voting list for years, I think. Cannery Row by John Steinbeck, Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I thought that would have been a good one to reread. I don't remember it very well from back in the day. And then A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, which is one of my all-time favorite books of all time, not just Charles Dickens. Should we see what the votes are looking like? We've got 13 responses. And classics. You can see here, 3 people have voted for Journey. 2 people have voted for Georgette Heyer book. 7 people have voted for Sylvia Plath. 1 for Cannery Row. 3 for Lord of the Flies, and 4 for A Tale of Two Cities. So the Bell Jar is going to make it in our final lineup for sure. Last year I think we had 11 people respond, so 13 is a pretty good number of people voting. And anything usually above 5, that gets 5 votes and above, will make it to the final lineup. So you know that a 7 is really good. So yes, the Bell Jar is going to be on it after trying all for so many years. And I'm really excited because this is one I've been wanting to read forever. But I do think people are going to struggle. I don't know, we'll see. The next category I have is young adult or middle grade. We have a few listed in that. Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I think that's because there's going to be a movie about this one, or it's already out. So people thought that would be a good one. This Woven Kingdom is one that I've been championing because I want to read it so bad. Promise Boys by Nick Brooks is one I'm not familiar with, but it's one that we heard about at that Talking Up the Books thing, best of books that our library did. The Uglies by Scott Westerfield is a good old YA classic, kind of, that a lot of people haven't read yet. The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. It was been real popular back in the day, and her whole series is really popular. So somebody thought we should maybe give that one a try. Days of the Dead by Kirsten Hamilton. I'm not sure what that book is even. The Bridge to Terabithia by Catherine Patterson. Sort of a classic kids book that I feel like some people hadn't read yet, so it got on the list. The Eyes in the Impossible by Dave Eggers. I added that one on the list because that is what won the Newbery Award just this year. So I thought that would be fun to read. What do we think won? I must say, I feel like the votes aren't that high on this section, which makes me think maybe we might not even choose a book from this section, but let's see what we have. So we have only 1 person for Turtles, 2 for Woven Kingdom, 3 for Promise Boys, 2 for The Uglies, 3 for The Red Queen, 1 for Days of the Dead, 2 for Bridge to Terabithia, and 1 for The Eyes and the Impossible. So we've got The Promise Boys and The Red Queen that got 3 votes. But the thing is there are more books that got more votes in other categories, so I don't even know if we're picking any of these books, even these 3ers. So that's kind of sad. I feel like most people in our book club right now are kind of leaning away from the YA lately. So that kind of shows here. In the adult fiction category, we have a lot of books. This is the huge category. So people suggested The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. Britt Murray was here by Frederick Bachman, because we always got to have a Frederick Bachman on our list. And we did read, my grandmother told me to ask you if she's, my grandmother, sorry, grandmother asked me. Anyway, this one is sort of a spin-off from that book. Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. This is one I really wanted to read. Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. Several people suggested this one. The Woman by Kristen Hanna. I wanted to read because I have been hearing so much about it. People are saying it's like the best book they've ever read, so kind of want to read that one. The Other Alcott by Elise Hooper, which is the story of Amy/May. She's Amy in the book. She's May in real life. And after going to the Little Women house last fall, we heard so much about May, and I really think it would be awesome to know her story a little better, because she was awesome too. The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. Everybody loves Sally Hepworth's books. The Wedding Dress Sewing Circle by Jennifer Ryan. The Kitchen Front by Jennifer Ryan. The Spectacular by Fiona Davis. Piranesi by Susanna Clark. Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I think that one ends up on our list often, but it never quite gets voted in. Maybe it will this year. Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. American Gods by Neil Gaiman. The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett. We have somebody in our book club who is really championing those 2 authors. Humboldt's Gift by Saul Bellow. That one I think we put on because we went through the list of popular books by the year. I did a video about that a while back. The most popular book every year. Humboldt's Gift was on there for one of those years. The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. Nosy Neighbors by Freya Sampson. The Summer of Songbirds by Christy Woodson Harvey. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich. Oh gosh, there's a couple people in our book club who have read this one, and they say it's amazing. So I'm thinking if it doesn't make the list this year, I'm going to go ahead and read that one on my own, I think. The Violent Conspiracy by Brendan Slocum. I think this one has been on our voting list a couple of years now. The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper by Phaedra Patrick. The Huntress by Kate Quinn. House of Eve by Sadiqa Johnson. First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This Time Tomorrow by Emma Straub. Or The Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. The Passengers by John Mars. The Reformatory by Tanarive Dew. And The Hogfather by Terry Pratchett also gets nominated a lot. And it's a Christmas one. So if it gets voted in, it would be fun to do around Christmas time. It's sort of a Christmas one. Yeah. So that is a lot on that category. But I think this is where most of the book club members are really having their interest lately. Let's see what is getting the votes so far. Nobody has voted for The Heaven and the Earth Grocery Store. 3 for Britt Murray, 3 for Yellow Face. Hello Beautiful has 7. I think that one is going to be the other shoe-in for our lineup this year. The Women only has 2. The Other Alcott has 3. The Soulmate has 4. The Wedding Dress 3. The Kitchen Front 2. Spectacular 2. Piranesi 4. Nobody votes for Outlander. Good Omens 4. American Gods 1. The Color of Magic 3. Humboldt's Gift 1. The Wishing Game 1. The Nosy Neighbors 3. Nobody voted for The Summer of Songbirds. 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn is 3. The Measure is only 2. The Violin Conspiracy, 4. The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper, 2. The Huntress, 2. House of Eve, 1. First Lie, 3. Never Lie, 3. Tomorrow, 2. This Time Tomorrow, 4. Where the Crawdads Sing, Nobody. The Passengers, 4. The Reformatory, 2. And Nobody for Hogfather. Still did not make it. So obviously we will have Hello Beautiful on the list, and then all those 4s perhaps might make it. In fact, I think those are the ones we will be rounding out the schedule with. Let's see what the other categories are first. After the adult one, I did 3 that we considered on the banned books list. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume, The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, and Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Let's see if anybody voted for those. Okay, so we have 1 for Are You There, God? The Bluest Eye, 2, and 4 for Eleanor and Park. Now, like I said before, the 4s might sneak in. Okay, then we have our local author category, Utah author. People voted for 2 Ali Condis, The Only Girl in Town, which was last year's book, and The Unwedding, which is her first adult book, which is coming out this year, or came out. Maybe it came out like this past week. I think it might have. So we always like to read a Utah author in August, because way back in our book blogging days, we celebrated Utah Author Month in August. The bloggers created an event and we interviewed the authors, and we did all kinds of features and highlights and read only Utah authors that month, and it was a blast. So as a nod to the good old days, we like to still read a Utah author in August. We didn't have a whole big list this year except 2 Ali Condis, and let's see what people said about the Ali Condi books. We have 4 for The Only Girl in Town and 5 for The Unwedding. So I think The Unwedding will be on the final list because it's a 5er. And like I said, anything 5 and above for sure makes it. And then the 4s kind of fill out the rest of the schedule. Last year, we tried to get everyone to read Brandon Sanderson because he just lives up the street a little ways. He didn't make it. We have a conflict in our book club with Brandon Sanderson. Some people love him, some people not so much love him. So having him win a voting poll could be interesting someday. And then the last one we have on here is some nonfictions, and we ended up getting like this pretty big list of nonfictions. The 21 by Elizabeth Rush. The Art Thief, that one was talked up pretty big at the Best of Books event at the library. The Soul of an Octopus, and we felt like after we read and loved Remarkably Bright Creatures that some of us would really enjoy this one also. The prize winner of Defiance, Ohio. For me, I don't know why, but this one sounds fascinating to me, and it gets on our list almost every time too. Upstairs at the White House, The Codebreaker, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, The Body Keeps the Score, Trauma Stewardship, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry, Into the Wild by John Krakauer. All of those sound really amazing. Some of those memoirs, if they don't get voted in, they will be good choices for people to maybe read during July for our memoir month. Let's see what people are saying. We have no votes for the 21, and we have 9 votes for The Art Thief. This is our big winner. If you look at the big picture of all the books, this one is the big winner, the top of the list. The Soul of an Octopus has 4. The prize winner has 2. Upstairs has 1. The Codebreaker has 3. Can't Hurt Me and The Body Keeps the Score both have no votes. Trauma Stewardship got 1. Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing has 1. And Into the Wild has 1. So The Art Thief wins and will be on the list. And The Soul of the Octopus is a 4, which is a possibility. So now, when I look at this whole thing, we've got for sure The Art Thief, for sure The Unwedding, and for sure Hello Beautiful, and for sure The Bell Jar. Now, so I wrote down all the 4s and got this list. And I ended up crossing off 3 things from this list. The Only Girl in Town, we probably won't read because we're going to read The Unwedding, so we don't need 2 Ali Condé books. The Soul of an Octopus I took off because we already have a nonfiction, and I don't know if we want 2 nonfictions. We might want to read some of these other fictions instead. And then I also took off A Tale of Two Cities, which got 4, sadly. I kind of want to reread that with everyone because we already have a classic. So I figured we didn't need 2 from that category. That leaves us with The Soulmate, Piranesi, Good Omens, The Violin Conspiracy, This Time Tomorrow, The Passengers, and Eleanor and Park. Along with our 4 big winners, that will be our list for book club this coming year. Our new schedule will start in June, and at book club tomorrow, we will figure out which month we will read all these different books. Figure out the final schedule. Now, if somebody has an issue with the ones I crossed off, maybe we can add them back in or see if we want to cross off a different one, but I wish we could fit them all in because they all sound amazing to me. But some of them will end up on the list next year, and we'll keep trying. Like, after a while, some of them will get voted in, like the Bell Jar is a good example, and Good Omens. I think it's been on the list for several years, and finally people are like, let's just go for it. Yeah, I'm excited for that one because that's the one that has both those awesome authors, and I don't think I've ever read it. It's one of those ones I've been meant to read forever, and I've never read it, so it's gonna be interesting to see what people think of them. We have done Neil Gaiman before. I think we did Neverwhere a while back. Anyway, that will be our book club schedule this year. I'm so excited for book club tomorrow to see what people's reactions are to these books and to figure out a final schedule month by month. I hope you have enjoyed this look into what we do for our book club, and I would love to know how you guys do it in your book club. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.